Hey, first shot.
Oh, nice job.
Okay. Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday, June 26th meeting of the Harwich Council on Aging Board of Directors. We're coming to you from the community center here in Harwich. We have nobody in the audience with us today. You're always welcome as we talk about working with our seniors, their families, and their caregivers, and what we can do as a community to assist. I want to go around because we have a visitor with us today who is soon to become a permanent member of our committee. I think we could all introduce ourselves, so in case you don't know anybody here. But Ralph, would you please start with the introduction?
Yes, my name is Ralph Smith.
Hi, I'm John Bathel.
Hi, Linda Roderick. Hi, I'm Angie Chalaka.
I'm Sheila House.
Lauren. You know me, I'm Julie Wittes.
I'm Richard Waystack. It's nice to have you. Thank you. And
What was the name again?
Sheila will be appointed, I believe, at the next meeting of the select board, and then she'll be official. She will need to be sworn in prior to the meeting and do ethics. Actually, you may have already completed it from some of your other service.
I have, but the fiscal year is up, so I need to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. And I went to be sworn in because I was reappointed for another 3-year term, but they weren't ready to swear people in yet. So this is my last official before I'm sworn in for the next meeting in July. So I will entertain our first order of business to approve the minutes of the May 15th, 2024 meeting.
So moved.
It's been moved, is
Seconded.
seconded.
Yep.
Your minutes are attached, and if there are any changes, alterations, adjustments that should be made. Seeing and hearing none, all in favor?
All right.
Any
Aye.
opposed? It is a vote. As I said, there is no one joining us today from the public, so there's no public comment. We'll move on with my comments, and I'm gonna hold most of mine into new business. A couple things that I want to talk about, I think it's very timely in working with some of the programs we've been discussing about the friendly visitor, and we can tie it in with some of our meal deliveries and even potentially medical rides. And so I'll defer my comments till that time. Julie, we'll go right to you for your report, please.
Oh, sure. Okay, so as far as our operations, I can report that we will resume our full lunch service as of July 1st. So Linda will be back in the kitchen full-time, and will be able to serve lunch again 5 days a week. We are still going to, we had previously canceled breakfast for June and July, and we are going to still hold off and keep the July breakfast canceled, even though Linda will be back. A couple reasons for that. One, the breakfast is a much larger capacity than we typically do on any given lunch day in terms of the dine-in service. So it is more work for her to handle in one sitting. It's a little more fast-paced. And two, we had canceled with our community partners, so we didn't want to have to go back to them and say, oh, actually, could you come after all? It isn't so easy organizationally to be able to go back and forth like that. So we decided we'd cancel for July, take a break for that month, and come back in August full swing. But our lunch service is resuming. She feels very prepared, is in good health, and is able to operate at full capacity for moving forward starting next Monday. So we're very happy about that. Our per diem chef Larry is also very happy about that he's able to go back to just his regular expected per diem schedule. So and then just our general update, we are now at the end of the month, end of June, end of our bi-monthly newsletter cycle. So our new newsletter has come out to cover July and August, so that should be hitting people's mailboxes right now. I've heard from a few people saying that they have received it. I will be sending out the email version either today or tomorrow as soon as we can just confirm that a few more people have gotten it. I try to make sure that it's timely, that people have received it to their mailboxes, and then it comes to the email inboxes at the same time, so that it's a little fair for everyone. So we have a lot of good programs for July and August. We've got our sailing programs come back, and we're able to serve a lot more people this year than we typically do, because they offer two programs. They offer something that they call the floating classroom, which serves around 22 people. That depends a little on whether there's a wheelchair or walker on board, but around 22 people at a time. And they also offer a sailing trip, which seats only 6 people at a time. So we usually do a sailing program and a floating classroom, but we always have a wait list. So this year we decided to just book 2 floating classrooms, which we hope will serve everyone who wants to come on the sailing programs. So we're looking forward to that.
Julie, I'm gonna ask you to speak up because the mic, and
Oh,
John,
yeah.
would you move the mic a little bit? Hear your
Sure.
very important comments.
There is one minor change to the sailing programs this year, which is in the past, Pleasant Bay Community Boating has offered this program to us for completely no cost, for free. That was something they offered to all the COAs. This year, because inflation has affected all of us, including their organization, they do have to charge a small fee for us to be able to run this program. And we are in turn are passing along a small portion of that fee, about 1/3 of the cost, to participants. So it breaks down to about a cost of around $15 per person for us to be able to run the program, and we are asking participants to pitch in $5 to be able to go on the sailing trip. If that's a hardship for somebody, just let us know. We don't want anyone to pass because it's a hardship, and we'll make something work. This is always a very popular program, so we do have a registration date set in the newsletter. If you could look at the newsletter, pay attention to what the procedures are to register for that, and call promptly at 9 a.m., you'll stand a better chance of getting into the program.
I'm sorry, I got called out
Yep.
briefly.
Yep.
Back to the Pleasant Bay Boating.
Yeah.
You say it was being done free. What was the change?
Oh, so they are now charging a fee for us to be able to for us to be able to run the program. It's not high. It breaks down to about $15 a person.
And is registration covering that?
So we are asking participants to pay $5 of the $15.
Okay, is there money in the budget to cover the gap?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. John, I was incorrect. That microphone needs to be pulled back. It's a dynamic mic. It gets everybody. Even the softest of voices can be heard, so I apologize.
That's
Thank
okay.
you. Please continue.
So that's the program most people want to usually know about when the summer newsletter hits. So I wanted to just touch on that. Of course, we've got plenty of other things that people are welcome and we hope will come for. Jen put together a really fun one this year that we've never tried before, which is COA Bingo. So the idea of this is you'll come and get a bingo card, and we hope that you come to different programs and try to use the COA in different ways to be able to fill up your bingo card. And if you get bingo, then you can come to an event at the end of August and participate in a little festive bingo-esque party where we're going to play some more games, and you'll have an opportunity to win one of a few different gift cards to a local restaurant that we are giving away. So play bingo with us and maybe you'll get to dine out. All right. So those are our operations that I wanted to hit on.
Just any questions on those? And on some things that we're doing, like these programs like that, are we coordinating with the community center? I know they have their own bingo thing that they're doing. Are we coordinating with the community center facilities that any other programs they're doing? We're not overlapping the same day, competing?
So there's one program in particular that we are directly coordinating with this summer, which is there's a healthy cooking demonstration that Reagan and Jen worked together to put on. So in this case, it's open to the whole community. The community center's publicizing it. We are publicizing it. People will register through the community center, but it's in both of the newsletters, for example. I think the community center bingo is like a bingo night, but this is more like a do it on your own sort of thing. You come and get your card, and we are not, we're not doing it's not really traditional bingo. It's more just, we're selling it that way so that we can have fun and get people to use the COA.
That's great. No, I think as a separate program, it's wonderful. Just want to make sure we're not overlapping, doing the same thing from both.
Right.
And the fact that they're doing a joint program is wonderful, because we'll get both groups supporting in actually promoting a program that's being done together. Thank you. That's great.
We're also trying to work with rec more often and do some intergenerational programming. So, for example, in August, we have the Harwich Junior Theater coming. They're going to put their kids, the kids in the Harwich Junior Theater summer program, are going to put on a play here at the COA, like in the multipurpose room auditorium, which we are advertising to seniors in the community, and we're encouraging them to bring younger members of their family, but obviously they're welcome to come on their own as well. It's a play for all ages. And then we're inviting the kids in the rec summer program to come and see that too. So any of the kids who are here that day will come and join the auditorium. All right, so I wanted to let you guys and the community as well know that we are looking to form a logo for the COA. So I have identified a company to work with to build a logo. And these, I sent around some logos to you guys to look at. Now, I want to be really clear, these are not from the company that I want to work with. What they asked for is if we have any ideas of where we want to start with, they would love to see them or hear them anywhere we're thinking of starting with. And I've been bandying about some ideas for a little while, so before I give them a place to start with, I want to talk to you guys and see if you like what I have in mind. If we don't like it at all, we'll go back to the drawing board and see what they can come up with. I am not a professional logo designer.
Let's go around the room.
So the idea generally is a sunset over water with Harwich Council on Aging around.
Ralph, your thoughts?
Do I have a choice? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, no, this is right.
I like them all,
Okay.
but I have a choice.
Well, and we don't have to choose. It's do you like the general idea,
sure.
or
I think it's
are
excellent.
there other ideas you can think of conceptually that you also would like to throw into the mix? I feel like trees are out there a lot. I'm not going to use the word overdone, but
And just consider any type of logo that's being done, period. It's representative of who we are and what we're doing. And I always looked at, does it support the mission of what we're doing? So, Ralph, John, do you have any thoughts or comments?
The only comment I would make is test drive it readability
yeah,
from a certain distance,
okay,
because you're dealing with people who
sure.
can't necessarily see that well. And otherwise, they all look pretty good. I kind of like this one in the upper right.
There are a couple on the back too. I favor those less, but I do like the idea of having the hand supporting. It gets a little more complicated, and I think the more complicated it gets, the harder it is to shrink down and use in different ways. But conceptually, it's a nice idea.
Linda?
I like them all. I don't know which one to support more than the other, but I'm glad we're changing the logo.
So we would still use the town seal on all of our
Yes.
work, but this would complement it as
Right,
well.
you could do it, if something like this, town seal logo.
Yeah.
You know, you can double it up. Angie?
I like them all, but I like the idea of the sunrise because it's positive,
Mhm.
especially when you're old. Whereas when I saw the hands, I get the meaning,
Mhm.
but then when we're old, we like to be independent. You know,
Okay.
so,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, we like to feel like we can do everything, even though we can't. But, but the sun, I love the sun and the water. I think that's it's a positive message.
Okay. And I thought beachy, Harwich, Cape Cod.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
work with what you have in the community.
Visitor?
Yes, I want to piggyback on what John said, that the readability of it, whoever you're going to hire to do the ultimate design will know if it's going to be adaptable to brochures, letterhead, all that stuff, so that it's
Clothing, anything else you're
readable.
doing?
Clothing, yeah, anything that you're going to have to read. So,
Okay.
right.
Um,
And I like this one too with the multicolored water.
Okay.
Two things. I love the hand, because it really goes towards supporting our,
Yeah, I know.
and supporting our mission
Yeah.
of what we're doing. What I don't want to confuse it with is you look at other like logos, like the Chamber of Commerce, the Warm Side of the Cape, and if you look at their logo and this logo, they end up being very similar. And I'm not looking to promote, we're tourists. We're looking, how do we support seniors, their families, and their caregivers? And that's why I love the hand, because that's what we're here to support. That's what we do. I don't want to be confused, with the chamber or another tourist-based organization.
Sure.
We have a mission, we have a goal of what we're trying to accomplish. I want to make sure that speaks out. So that's my concern on, without using, I love the hand and how you can adapt the hand to a sunrise if that's the case. I think it's wonderful, but I love that we're here to support our seniors, our older adults, their families and their communities.
I can see why you like the hand.
Yeah.
He's part Italian.
Yeah.
Is the company that would be hired to do this, are they local or?
They are based in Connecticut,
Okay.
but they had the best rate, and we're going to be we're going to be working with them for the newsletter. They had by far the best rate for our newsletter.
Yeah.
And since we went with them for the newsletter and they were able to give us then a good rate for the logo, it felt like a good choice.
They'll look around at the different logos in the community.
Yeah, they do a lot of logos for COAs.
Yeah.
So I also liked the idea that they wouldn't give us something that another COA is going to have, like, they can make sure that it's not giving us something exactly the same as somebody else.
Gotcha.
And I think what we're doing here is a great opportunity for outreach to the folks who use the COA. That if we come up with, say, 3 finalists.
Right, and
We can
vote.
send it out
Let them vote.
to the community and let
Yeah.
them vote. What do they feel is a logo that represents who we are as the Council on Aging? So that might be a great opportunity for some great interaction.
Yeah, I was hoping for something like that too. Yeah.
I think you've got some input to
Okay,
work with the logo folks.
all right, thank you. I appreciate that.
And what's new with volunteer needs, recruitment, and training?
Volunteer wise, we are in good shape. I can just update everyone that one of our reception volunteers is having to move on. She is happy with working at the COA, but she just has a lot going on in her life. She's a very, very busy person. So she's ready to move on and focus on other things. So we do have an opening in the reception office. We have someone who may end up stepping up and filling in that spot, but it's not 100% decided yet. So if there is someone out there who is retired and looking for a commitment, a regular commitment of 3.5 hours a week, same schedule, same time every week, ideally filling in this person's old schedule, which is Thursday afternoons, 12:30 to 4. But there is an opportunity to move things around. We'd love to hear from you. This is a good fit for someone who used to work in some administrative capacity, who likes to be busy, who likes to be in an office where you're working with people at a fast pace, and likes to be part of a team where you are valued and your input really matters. Our reception volunteers really, what we hear from them a lot is that they love that they are treated really as an equal part of the team. We cannot function without them, and so we give them a lot of say in how the office operates, and we give them a lot of responsibility, but in a way that we also support them to make the decisions that they make, and we never leave them on their own in a way that they feel unsupported. So I think it's a positive working environment. I think people really enjoy the position as long as it's something that they're looking to do. They're looking for a commitment, and they're looking to feel valued and to keep busy. So if that sounds like you, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll can talk further and see if it's a good fit for you.
So those who may be watching this meeting would love to have you. There's a wonderful group here at the Council on Aging, and here at the Community Center in general. It's a wonderful place to be, and we have some amazing volunteers, and as Julie mentioned, we couldn't do the work that's being done from the Council on Aging without our volunteers. So love to have someone join us. Julie, anything else?
Volunteer-wise, we can still use some more help in the kitchen, so that's another need that we do have right now. This would be helping with lunch service, so it's not really preparing the lunch, but helping to clean up in the kitchen, helping to serve the lunch to the diners, pour water, pour coffee, bring the food out, clean up after the lunch is over, put trash in the trash can and bring things back to the kitchen, stuff like that. This will be even more important in just a couple of months after September 1st, because that's when the new bylaws go into effect, where we are not allowed to use any plastic servingware. And Linda is planning to, as far as the last time we talked, she wants to go back to using ceramic plates and actual dishware for dine-in service. We usually use paper plates, paper products, but there are a few plastic things that we use in the course of dine-in service. So just to make sure that we're not coming into any issues at all with that bylaw, she's wanting to go back to using real plates, real silverware, real cups, and everything, and then focus our efforts on making sure that we're buying the appropriate products for the meals that we do to go. But for dine-in service, we'll be having to clear a lot more plates and not just toss things in the trash. So this will be good from an environmental perspective, but it means we'll definitely need help in the kitchen.
And Board of Health is okay with the transition?
Yeah, yeah.
Super.
All right, so that's me.
Great, super. Thanks so much, Julie.
I just have a question about the
please.
help in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that the lunches that you do every day?
Yes.
How many hours with the?
So usually a person just works 1 day a week, and the hours, they come in around 10:30, and the shift ends around 12:15-ish, maybe 12:30 if it's a long day.
Mm-hmm.
And for those who are not aware of the dining program, for a lot of the folks who participate, it is the highlight of their day.
Yeah.
They come in and it serves multi-purposes, the nutrition, but the socialization that is so, so important. And we know a number of the folks who do participate in that, it is truly the highlight of their day. So we'd love to have some new folks working in that. Old business, anybody have anything to come into? Just following up on the report to the select board on the program that we're going to be doing with UMass. Any update there?
So I did have an initial conversation with the select board. They were supportive. We are in the process of having the Friends sign the agreement to get started September 1st. I am planning to attend the select board meeting on, I believe it's July 8th.
Yep.
To do an update on the programs that we are having for July and August, which we had talked about doing that before, like an overview of things that are on the horizon, like trying to time that for every time the newsletter comes out. So assuming I have something concrete to report, I'd be happy to do that then too.
Okay. Once that program starts, I think it'd be good if we agenda that every month and update what's happening with it. That's an
Okay.
important program,
Yeah.
a lot of what's happening here. Another old business item I'd like to discuss is our second volunteer recognition event. We did our spring one, which was wonderful. It was just so, the comments we received from people was tremendous. But we've always done that second one, working potentially with Friends and possibly with public safety. And we have a new police chief who will be sworn in next Tuesday at a public event, and a new deputy chief. I think it's a great opportunity to do a joint program with public safety to have the new chief introduced to some of our seniors. Many know him. He's been very involved.
Yeah.
But starting a discussion of when we want to do that, where we want to do it. And I can make an appearance at the Friends if necessary to talk to them about helping us out with it.
Okay.
Sheila, just where we had a policy of creating 2 events a year to recognize volunteers, because it works out to numerous FTEs that we would have to take on to do the work that's being done by the COA. And I just think it's imperative. We have so many, literally all the folks in this table are volunteers in one way or another, to recognize the work of the volunteers. And I think when you thank them and show that the town, through the COA, appreciates them and values them, I think it makes it easier to bring new volunteers in. So we've been trying to do it twice a year, and we've done various ones. We did one, I think you might have been at ours.
I wasn't at the most recent one, but the one at Jake Rooney's.
Yeah. And people love it, So anyone else want to weigh in on that? Do we?
Should we do you want to throw out some dates now or
Folks
some
wanna
general
discuss it?
time frame?
We usually did like a cookout.
Correct, and Angie's correct, and we've normally done it September after Labor Day. It's a great opportunity to bring, again, because a lot of the visitors have left, and it's a lot of the locals, and we do a cookout. We did it out in the parking lot, and people loved it, and we, as the board, served, which I loved as well.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice. And we had, I think the fire department came over and did the cooking for us on their grill.
They're great.
Yeah. Gentlemen, your thoughts?
Sounds good. Second or third week
Good
of
to me.
September.
Yeah.
Makes me hungry.
I'll serve you a
Smell
burger
those
to
hot dogs from here, huh?
The second or third week of September looks to be the best. And I would say second is probably a little better than the third. So that's the week of the 9th or the week of the 16th.
I can't do that week, the 16th. I'll be away.
Okay.
Don't go by me.
You need to check with,
Yeah, we'll need to
Yeah, obviously.
check with these folks here. We need to also check with.
Cranberry harvest.
Right.
oh, that's
right.
right.
I was just thinking about that.
And if we have to push out to the last week of September?
So warm then.
Yeah. it is still-
Yeah, that's doable.
And-
The COA gets busier
Yep.
as the month goes on. So the earlier in the month is just a little bit better for us, but we can certainly do it
Well, I think that the conflict with Cranberry Harvest Festival,
Yeah,
we
you're
don't want
right.
to do. We need
Sure.
to check in with, okay, I will ask again, if anyone want to help doing this, putting this together?
Sure.
That was quick. Thank you. And that's, so Julie, our visitor, soon to be newest board member, Angie, Linda, and John.
Okay.
I'm happy to assist as well. And I just want to throw it out. I mean, do we feel comfortable that this is the appropriate thing to continue doing?
I do. It recognizes people. It shows our appreciation.
And it's not a big deal when we go see our friends at the Friends.
We could connect with the high school, Sherry Armstrong, about maybe having some kids come over and be part of volunteering at it too. Not as being recognized as volunteers, but just helping out to
Yeah,
make that
helping.
connection.
I'd say we've had in the past a great showing of board. Pretty much everyone's been there, and it's wonderful to see we're serving our volunteers, and it's a great opportunity. All right?
Okay, all right, I'll check some dates, with the, I'll see if I can find out the dates of the Cranberry Fest and
I think it was
when, what,
September 17th, 18th, something like that for the cranberry.
Yeah. that's-
Something like that.
sounds
That's
right.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And I'm thinking about a week after.
and look at dates for here, for the,
Yeah,
you know,
right.
what works for the community center.
Touch base with them.
public safety, you know, what dates would work for them, and see if we can come up with some possible dates. Okay.
And we can reach out to our former member, Captain Justin White.
Yeah.
By the way, and speaking of that, in terms of old business, we know that Justin did resign because of the conflicts he had. I mean, he was on duty too many times to actually sit at the meetings. Still wants to do whatever he can to support, so this is a great opportunity for that. But it illustrates the fact that we still are one member down. So just put the word out to people. Again, we can be compassionate and empathetic and support the mission of what we do to bring someone on.
Is John Bathel, John, are you still an alternate member?
I believe so.
No, you should be a full-time. I think John is a full
I don't
member.
know.
I will check with the interview
Okay.
committee, but if you are, he won't be any longer. No, he should be regular, and then we have one more position. Anyone else for old business? New business, I would like to discuss a topic. The last week of heat really illustrated how climate change is impacting what's going on here. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. I'm concerned about the heat that's impacting our seniors. And we've created the Friendly Visitor Program, we have the lunch delivery program, we have the medical riders program. We have a lot of touches with our seniors. I would like to float the idea of a program working with the Friends to see that any of our seniors who need fans, air conditioners, to be able to deal with the heat. Because a lot of folks who are shut in, were not able to get out, and they're touched by a friendly visitor, by a medical ride or lunch delivery, that how we can assist them. Because no one, if we get into the 80s and 90s, which it can do and it will do, and it was early this year in June, that we have a program available to be proactive, not to be reactive. Because by the time you have a request, Julie, from someone that, we need someone who needs a fan or an air conditioner, by the time you meet with friends, and it could be 2-3 weeks.
Right.
I would like a program that we have things in place, that if someone needs one, sure, we have one in the medical device room that we can run right over. Just throwing it out there, and I'd love your thoughts. Angie.
I don't know how much money Friends has, but I noticed that a lot of air conditioners are on sale now, really cheap. I'm thinking maybe at some point, maybe the Friends might be willing to buy, I don't know, a number of them, have them stored. And then the other thing is AmeriCorps. Those kids are really great at installing. They've been running around installing smoke detectors, all kinds of stuff for people.
Right.
They might be another resource to help us install the air conditioners, along with John, who was so kind to hit all our neighborhoods.
AmeriCorps volunteers through what, through
I see-
Barnstable, or?
Cape
you know
Cod.
what?
It's the Cape
Yeah.
Cod branch, there's only
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's
I can send you all the stuff, because I usually see the kids
Yeah.
running in and
Yeah.
out of the Red Cross all the time.
they work with the town in various capacities
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
They also, with our friends down at HCT, they do a lot of work with HCT. Is it something we want to take on as a program? And I don't want to speak for programs, but from our board level, is it something we want to take on?
Well, it sounds like it's something that can be piggybacked off the wellness, just to get an assessment. And then action is based on what the assessment tells you.
Absolutely, on need.
Yeah.
Well, let me say this, too. Sue DeSalle, over the years, and I have been working together, and I've donated probably 8 or 9 air conditioners, which I've gotten free. And I have 2 in my garage right now, so she's aware that I have these available.
Yeah. I think the Friends would be willing to fund the purchase of the air conditioners. I think the biggest hurdle to solve is gonna be the installation piece. And it's not that it's not solvable, we just have to think it through and figure out.
Oh, I agree, and
what
I
we're
think
gonna
it's,
do.
in picking up as new business, it's a discussion, and we can do a vote if we want to create a program. We can work out the details, and I know I have a number of retired contractors in town that we may be able to say, hey, can you put in an air conditioner for us? I think it's a win-win, and it's a great publicity. And we may have folks who just maybe want a fan.
Right,
They may not want an air conditioner.
right.
The air conditioning's out in the building today. We have a fan, keeping us cool. It works. And a lot of folks may not want someone in the house putting an AC in. But I think if we do fans and ACs as a program that's available, I think we're doing a job.
I think when we're doing the planning, we also need to plan on what's gonna be the cost for electricity, because I know for a lot of seniors that are on very
Yep.
fixed incomes,
Yep.
they're not gonna turn on the fan or the air conditioning, because it's gonna cost money.
And so we know that we can also publicize that we have a program in town called the Caleb Chase Fund, that if we know of someone, and this is the opportunity, John, I love the fact that you're piggybacking on the wellness program and working with Sue, that if there is a need that we're aware of, we have two options, actually we have a number of options. We have the Caleb Chase Fund that can be secured through the select board, through Julie. We have an arrangement with the Friends that we can go and get a grant if necessary. And that's what the Friends are there for. There's things that we don't have in our budget that can be done to assist those in need who are older adults in our community.
Right.
So I think we can work out a program to do that. I just want to be proactive and not wait till August, September to get something done when people need it, the beginning of July, mid-July.
Yeah.
So, any other thoughts? Do we put together then a motion to create a
Program.
AC and fan program for
Yep.
the Council on Aging?
Yes.
Yes.
How do you envision this starting? And what's the first step?
I think that if we approve something today, we meet with Friends, either Julie or I can make a call to the chair and say, we've got a program we need some funding for. And maybe it's an opportunity, as Ralph said, he's got 2 air conditioners in his garage. Do you have an air conditioner that works?
I actually just had someone try to donate one yesterday,
Right.
and now I'm looking for a home for it because I know someone needs
Right.
it, but I just
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
I had that trouble with Sue too. I had air conditioners and she didn't have anybody that needed one.
Right.
So,
but if we publicize it that it's available, that we're creating a new program,
Right.
that those in need, and then for those who are watching on the YouTube channel today, the Harwich channel, if you know of someone who may need it, it's a phone call to the Council on Aging. And we can reach out to Carolyn to see if maybe there's some space downstairs that we could store them.
Sure.
I know we're pretty much packed in here
Yeah.
in our medical device room, but there's a lot of space downstairs. If we could cooperate with them.
my
Who's the
my
current
garage
chair?
is full.
I don't have a garage, so I can't fill it. So
Who's the current chair of the Friends?
Jim Nickman
Okay.
is the current chair. And they're at a point, they're looking, how can they help?
Right.
What is the best support? And they were created to support the Council on
Absolutely.
Aging.
Yeah.
So I'll entertain a motion to create the program. So moved and seconded by Linda.
Yes.
Any other discussion? We can work out the details. And Julie, I'm sorry to add another layer, but I think it's a
Good one.
I think it's a good one for our. All right, all in favor?
I,
Anyone opposed? It is a vote. So be it. That's it for me for new business. Anyone else have anything new they want to come before us today?
Yeah, I just had 2 things I just want to say. One, have we ever assessed, are we really reaching all the people who really need help in our community? Because sometimes people who need help aren't going to say anything.
Correct.
So how do we know we're reaching those people? I know we're putting things in the newsletter, but not everybody does that. I don't know how far we can go to search that out.
Well, do the police and fire give us referrals?
They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would think so.
Yeah.
In those cases, I was just involved in a situation where public safety had been to our house numerous times. I think there are numerous ways. Sue,
Yeah.
through the social worker here at the Council on Aging, there are a number of ways. And we get people who see us in the community, who know that we're on the Council on Aging. I know we've all had referrals different times. But Angie, I don't know the answer to that question. Are we reaching everybody? Probably not.
Yeah.
So now that begs the question,
Yeah.
how do we get to them?
How do we get to them? That was an issue that
Yeah.
I always think about I think of some of the folks. And the other thing on the plus side, I did want to say, I was so happy to see when the paramedics have to take someone to the hospital and some people have no rides home. I was happy to see that we are providing rides. That was something new that I thought was really important because not
Well,
everybody,
Your case in point is
Yeah.
very apropos. This past week in Plymouth,
yeah,
there was a gentleman who he had fallen,
yeah,
broken his nose, taken to the hospital in Plymouth. And as they were trying to arrange a ride, he left. He was found dead 2 days later.
yeah,
And it was in the midst of this heat, and that's what really brought it to
Yeah.
my attention. Seeing a senior, who in this heat was out walking, had a fall, hospitalized, and then left on their own.
right,
Didn't have it, and just unnecessary death.
right.
That should occur. So it's a good question, and I know Julie and all the department heads they've been requested by administration to appear before the select board at a reoccurring time frame to talk about programs. So I think when Julie is at the select board on the 8th, it's a great opportunity to discuss, if you are a senior, and maybe they're watching a select board meeting and not a council on aging meeting, but the media is also there. The local newspaper is there taking notes. So it'd be great if Julie, on your update, you mentioned that it's been brought up by the board. Who are we not reaching and how can we reach them? The more we get it out there.
More, yeah.
So it's a great point, Angie. Thank you so much for
Do
bringing
we
that up.
know how many Meals on Wheels are served every day in Harwich?
I don't know, because that's organized through Elder Services,
Yeah.
but I could ask.
I was just wondering, maybe we could have just a flyer go with them one time.
Great point, John.
Yeah, that's a good
That's a good
idea.
idea.
Another one too, you might even notice by the schools because many of the poor families live in multi-generational households.
Yeah.
So, and they are on the poorer end of the scale, so that's another way of kind of finding out who's in the town we might not be reaching.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
It's a great point. And what I love about it, the empathy of this group here, we're one of the most active councils on aging on the Cape. And yet we're still striving to get to more. What else can we do as a board? So wonderful for you to bring that up. And John, that's a great idea. I think that's a great follow-up. And maybe we do Meals on Wheels if we can. I know my in-laws get it every day. Maybe we do once a month.
Yeah, just a flyer initially explaining the services and how to initiate them,
Or maybe even our newsletter.
or maybe the newsletter.
We've been putting together, so we have a new brochure, and the next thing we're putting together is what they call a rack card. So it's a, card stock, one page, one small. It's like brochure size, but just one page front and back.
They're more accessible and
Yeah.
popular these days.
Yeah.
For sure, yes.
And those can go down at the chamber as well.
Yeah, we can put those
They
in.
have a rack
Yeah,
there.
that's a good idea.
Great idea. Great topic.
Oh, okay. Now, is the language on this going to be like just English? Is there anybody that knows Spanish?
Another good question.
Yeah. We have translators at the schools.
Yeah.
That they can translate it over for you in more common languages of Spanish, Portuguese, English, and whatever else in it. So whatever newsletter, they can do that for you quickly.
We run into the issue though of our staff doesn't speak those languages, so it is difficult to provide the services.
But I'm saying if the information went out, to answer back though.
To answer back.
But we might have some volunteers who are multilingual that might be willing to step up on a particular day.
Yeah.
Well, we've just expanded new business
Yeah.
today across the board. I wonder if it's the visitor who's getting it to come out. It's,
You're just trying to impress me.
We might want to limit the meeting
Charlie,
before we
you're
get too many
yeah,
ideas.
that's true. Well, it's some great points. I think you're right, because we have a lot on our plate that we have come up with today. And poor Julie's going to run out of ink here in a moment.
Thanks, Julie.
But some great
Let
points to
Lauren-
think about, and we'll come back next month under old business
Yeah,
for those
We'll
things.
see how that works out.
Yeah.
All right, so I dare ask, is there anything else under new business? Hearing none, let's move on to final comments. Angie, you're gonna start, actually, no, we'll start with our visitor. Any comments, final comments, questions, concerns?
Just glad to be here and listen to what everybody's doing and have some ideas that I'll bring up in the future, connecting seniors with kids. So, yeah,
Great, thank
very
you.
excited.
Angie?
No, I'm pleased with all the things that we're doing, so congratulations and thank you to all of you that do things, and thank you so much for your generosity. There's a lot of things they do behind the scenes
Oh,
that
no,
we don't
there's no
always
question.
know,
There are a
so
whole bunch of things
Okay.
people do behind the scenes.
I'm always
and-
very appreciative when I hear all these things.
Linda?
Oh, for me, I deeply enjoyed reading this article. It was in the Chronicle
Yep.
about the happiest 50th Council on Aging.
Oh,
Yeah, it really impressed me. And the other thing I would like to mention is on the wording for the new logo. I think the wording is going to be the most important part because
yeah.
as a senior myself, I find certain things when I look at them now, what does that mean?
Uh-huh.
Right.
So it's just my thought.
Okay. Yeah. So is the round wording hard to read? Is that what you, is that how you feel?
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, especially where, yeah, the circular.
Okay.
And maybe come up with something completely different.
Right, and
Yeah,
that's,
they might.
right, and
With
that,
your idea in mind, with your
Right, right.
concept in mind.
and Linda, I just thinking that, I'm looking at it, and if it went to Harwich COA advocating for seniors, or something like that, that just, because again, I want to tie in the mission. It's great to have a logo, but if you
Yeah.
don't know what the logo means,
That's a good idea.
just maybe
Advocating
throw some
for
of those,
seniors.
because some people have an issue with the word aging.
True.
Well,
I know we've
that's
discussed that.
That's a whole other topic.
Oh, I know, we've discussed it in the past. Well, then, thank you, great point. John?
Very good.
No, I'm fine.
I have nothing.
Swifty? Anything?
Nothing else.
Final
for me.
comments? Well, thank you, it's been a great meeting. Look forward to you coming back after being sworn in. And I would be happy to entertain a motion to adjourn.
I was so moved.
Second?
All in favor? Any
Aye.
opposed? It's a vote. Thank you. Good to see you all. John, would you hit the
you.
magic button? Thank you. Start it again.